Nobody expected Caitlin Clark to shut down the legendary center Brittney Griner with just one move. This wasn't just any matchup.
Angel Reese recently took a surprising stance in the ongoing Griner versus Clark feud, and her revelations regarding Brittney Griner may have completely upended the WNBA. Angel had mostly kept quiet about this feud, but when the internet began spreading untrue stories about Caitlin, she had to intervene. According to a number of publications and tweets, Caitlin is entitled, pampered, and appears to have set Brittney Griner up for drags. But in Angel's opinion, the true bad guy in all of this is Brittney. Angel disclosed in a recent interview that Brittney's attack on Caitlin a few weeks ago was actually intended to prevent Caitlin from exposing her. In addition, Brittney wanted Caitlin to understand that she could do much worse in private if she could harm her in public and get away with it. The stakes in a WNBA matchup have never been higher, guys. And in order to reveal the truth, Angel Reese is removing all the layers of this feud. Given that they are one another's fiercest rivals, Angel Reese was the last person anyone anticipated to support Caitlin Clark in this feud. However, reports claim that Angel believed the story being told about Caitlin and Brittney Griner was becoming too strange and decided to correct the record. To put things in perspective, Caitlin Clark has been the target of open criticism throughout the season, with no apparent justification other than hatred. For instance, a user on X recently criticized Caitlin Clark in a tweet for setting a poor example for children. Caitlin Clark is a gifted basketball player, but her performance in this tournament has been disappointing, he stated. Athletes must serve as positive role models for youth, and CC had the chance to do so, but was unable to do so. It's intriguing because Caitlin only plays her games and confronts her bullies. Therefore, it appeared as though someone was deliberately plotting against her by calling her a negative role model. That's not all, though. Others have criticized her for being entitled, a brat, and a diva in addition to calling her a poor role model. Comments regarding Caitlin have increased over the past few weeks, with some saying things like, "I can't stand Caitlin Clark, and she seems a little self-entitled. I've always been so entitled." One individual even sent the harsh remark, "Caitlin Clark is not a damsel in distress. She resists rather than accepts the fact that she is an a-hole. Give it additional time." The intriguing thing is that if you examine the dates on the most of these remarks, you'll notice that they really started at the same time that her and Brittney Griner's feud was made public. And that isn't a coincidence at all, according to Angel Reese. Anyone who wants to know the truth may see that Angel thinks Brittney Griner played a role in the abrupt increase in anti-Caitlin sentiment. Angel recently talked about how she believes Brittney attacked Caitlin for a very particular purpose in an interview. She didn't want to be exposed by Caitlin. Angel says that it's fairly clear. She went on to say, "Despite her best efforts, Brittney is aware that we are all aware of her secrets. Unfortunately for her, the truth will still surface even if one participant is bullied." What secret, then, might Angel be discussing? The story twist is about to happen, though. Everyone has heard the allegations regarding Brittney Griner's purported DNA findings, which show that she differs greatly from the typical basketball player in terms of some physical characteristics. Insiders, however, claim that it goes far deeper than that. Brittney not only possesses these qualities, but the WNBA was aware of it the entire time and decided to take no action. Furthermore, insiders now assert that it has essentially become a league secret. Someone else, possibly even Angel Reese, would have planned to expose Brittney if Caitlin hadn't already. Who is speaking the truth in this case, then? Someone farther up in the league, like Angel Reese? Is there another explanation for why no other player showed up to cheer Caitlin on? However, the fact that Angel seemed like the last person to criticize Brittney was what made her statement so startling. Although they are not exactly best friends, Angel and Brittney have always admired one another. Angel even went viral recently for a comment in which she praised Brittney and asserted that Prime Minister Brittney Griner would defeat Prime Minister Allen Iverson. Although Angel subsequently denied saying such, her admirers saw that she didn't dispute the assertion in and of itself. That implies that she thinks Brittney Griner is a fantastic player. Brittney responded to the remark as well, and she didn't appear to find it offensive. "We are aware that this artificial intelligence was, and will continue to be one of the most fascinating actors to observe," she stated. Watching his highlights makes me feel agitated, but that's not all. In interviews, Angel and Brittney have also expressed nothing but positive things about one another. I love the hype. Brittney said candidly about Angel's influence on the WNBA in a recent interview with Rolling Stone. I adore everything. The fact that we have so many new fans makes me very happy. The momentum is undoubtedly increasing, in my opinion. Angel respects Brittney, and Brittney views Angel as a gifted young player. Therefore, no one would have predicted that Angel would be the one to approach Brittney in this recent altercation. Fans were expecting Angel to support Brittney, if anything. However, Caitlyn and Angel are like mortal rivals. They are constantly being compared to one another by sports analysts and fans, who are arguably each other's fiercest rivals right now. In addition to their feud, Angel's mentor Shaquille O'Neal appeared to believe Caitlyn was superior than Brittney, which further shocked Angel into siding with Caitlyn against her. As you are all aware, Angel's podcast chat with Shaq went viral after Shaq talked about how Caitlyn was the greatest thing ever. When Shaq asked Angel why she believed that people liked Caitlyn so much, her answer was crystal clear. Angel had the opportunity to remain composed and acknowledge that Caitlyn's skill on the court is what makes her so popular. Rather, she claimed that the logo threes are to blame. Naturally, Shaq checked her right away and reminded her that Caitlyn's ability to shoot from a distance isn't the only reason why people adore her. She has the whole package, which is why they adore her. In front of Angel, Shaq essentially referred to her as the basketball of the future. You can understand how disappointed and envious she was at the time by watching this excerpt from that interview.
Why do you think people love Caitlyn Clark, besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Like, Steph Curry, I love, you know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. I've seen it a little bit in Mahmoud Abdul-Roh, but I've never seen a guy consistently come down. And if you look at, like, if you saw Steph on the street, he ain't got the LeBron muscles. He's not 6'9", he's 6'10". He look like a perfect, normally office guy.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff that people never seen before. She's doing stuff we've never seen before. Never seen nobody do that on a consistent basis. There's a lot of girls in WNBA that done it in spurts, but you know, that game I'm watching y'all in the Final Four, I'm like, damn, like, and I was a hater because, you know, I'm down. She was like, she's not going to hit that shot, and bam, like, damn, she's not going to hit that shot, man. Like, if I say 10 times you're not going to hit the shot and you hit the shot, that means you're the truth. So I'm telling you now.
There's more, though. When Angel made this sign to Caitlyn, some referred to it as the ghetto. However, Caitlyn did the same to Hailey Van Lith, and people simply waved it off, which led to a heated argument between the fans of the two players. There's no doubting that both players are not what you would anticipate to be allies in a league beef, even though all of this can be explained by simple player rivalry, and you can tell by this that Angel isn't joining the Brittney Griner debate merely to capitalize on a moment of viral fame. She hardly stands to benefit by raising the issue. Angel is just interested in telling the truth, regardless of whose feelings may be offended in the process. Given all of that, it makes reasonable that she would support Caitlyn in this dispute because it doesn't take much ingenuity to realize that Caitlyn isn't the only one who is losing. The league uses her as a scapegoat. She has been harassed, called derogatory names, and accused of being entitled and envious ever since she joined the league. And let's not even discuss the way other athletes treat her on the court. With all the elbows, snide remarks, and taunting Caitlyn experiences during games, they appear determined to irritate her. This leads us to the now famous video of Brittney Griner assaulting Caitlyn on the court, which has caused a great deal of controversy regarding both athletes. As you are all aware, Brittney became enraged and made those racist comments about her being called a garbage effing white girl after being kicked out of the game following this attack. However, the response to Brittney's remarks was quite fascinating. This would have ended any other player's career. Do you recall Liz Cambridge's alleged use of racial epithets against the female Nigerian basketball team in 2021? Yes, Liz's career did not recover from that. She was ultimately had to quit from the WNBA and withdraw from the Olympics that year. After a few years, using racial epithets against your teammates is suddenly not considered a huge concern. Let's change the story a bit and pretend that Caitlyn was the one who called Brittney that same insult. The media would have a field day accusing her of hate crimes, and she would likely be suspended and penalized by now. At this point, the disparities in treatment are obvious. Even worse is the reality that Brittney Griner never accepted accountability for her deeds. The least she could have done, even if she wasn't punished, was to express regret or, at the very least, admit that her behavior might have offended another participant. However, the fact that Brittney was allegedly rubbing it in everyone's face that she could do whatever she wanted and get away with it was what really pushed Angel to come up with the truth. The fact that she was seen on tape harassing another player is insufficient. She had to behave as though she was in charge of everyone and make it their concern. Brittney was said to have taken her place on the squad for granted, ignored the coach, and tried to reprimand other players. Furthermore, it was clear that the league's attorneys had no intention of checking her or even shielding Caitlin Clark. They conveyed a message to other players that this was now the league's acceptable behavior by letting Brittney go wild. And you know what? This reportedly contributed to the league's inaction following Brittney's attack on Caitlin, despite calls for Brittney to be held accountable coming from prominent sports pundits and former players. But Angel Reese would never tolerate it, and when she revealed the real reason for Brittney's attack on Caitlin, it rocked the league to its foundation. Given that Angel intends to continue where Caitlin left off, there are now rumors that she may be the next person Brittney Griner targets. However, if the reports are accurate, Brittney may want to reconsider her next course of action because Angel's plan might permanently ruin her career if she attempts any humorous